How's it going, YouTube? This is Mike. Just want to give you your food for thought for today. I want to take today's video in a little bit of a different direction than yesterday's video. Just want to spread a little bit of positivity because we could all use some of that right now, especially the way the world is today. But yeah, I just coming from experience, kind of relating to yesterday's topic about how the system's broken and stuff like that. Obviously, if you're watching this, you're probably somebody like me, who wants to get ahead, and you kind of feel like the walls are closing in on you sometimes, which it's something I struggle with a lot of the time. But something I have to keep reminding myself and remind you guys is try not to be so hard on yourselves and try to accept things as they are. And what I mean by that is not accepting like mediocrity, obviously, and just wallowing in, self pity or sorrow. What I mean is when things are outside of your control, try to reframe and just try to like accept things as it is. If you can't change the outcome, right? Like certain things are just outside of our control. Obviously, the way the economy is and things like that. Obviously, yeah, you can vote the right person into office, but there's only so much that person can do, right? Um, I just want to let you guys know, like, just be kind to yourselves. That's something I feel like we've lost along the way, especially lately. Be kinder to yourself. As long as you have some sort of idea of what you want out of life, take your stabs at it. Um, that's pretty much what my 20s have been so far, personally. And even if you're older than that, like I'm 27, I've done a lot of stuff within my 20s um, to take those stabs, to take those risks, to try to have a better tomorrow. But something I keep running into is trying to rush it, right? And I'm not going to lie to you, I'm still struggling with that. I do wish I could be at the finish line today or even yesterday. I wish I was at the finish line yesterday. Um, but I'm starting to accept, I am working towards something and it is going to take a bit of time and it's going to unfortunately be, you know, um, a lot more. I don't want to use the word suffering, but in a sense, when you're doing something you don't want to do to make ends meet and things like that, it can be a form of suffering. And people will just keep telling you, oh, that's how it is. You're being an adult and shit like that. But, I'm tired of hearing that crap too. It's hard today. It's really hard. Not saying life is without hardship. There's always going to be hardship in life. But things have become so unnecessarily hard um, for things outside of ourselves. You know what I mean, causing it. Obviously, as I mentioned yesterday, the economy and things like that. That is tough. People are just kind of working to survive at the moment, and that's not what life should be about. You know what I mean? We have figured out the food chain. We have figured out ways, in this country to, make life a little bit easier, you know? Um, so with that in mind, our struggle should be, how do I achieve success or what success means to me? Because obviously, working a dead end job just to survive is, to me, that's not living, especially if you're a creative type, your heart yearns for more, and that's what I struggle with a lot is, you know, being capable of so much more. And yet, you can't just fully commit to that thing at the moment. You could work on things in your free time, and things like that. And I implore you all to do that. If you're working a job you can't stand, obviously it's hard because you work a lot, 40 hours a week, and then you have little time, for yourself. And if you have a family already, I'm sure that's even harder. But just set aside a little bit of time each day, whenever you can. Take your stab. Um, work on something you're passionate about, even if you only do an hour a day or half an hour a day. Those small steps are going to lead you to where you want to get to. I'm a firm believer in that. As long as you're doing something true to you and it's meaningful, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to get there. You will get there. You know, you just got to keep plugging away at it. And it feels like, the finish line just keeps getting further and further away, as we have to spend more money on basic necessities and things like that. But I am a firm believer in trusting the process, as hard as it can be sometimes. When you really sit down and ask yourself, the hard questions and do a little bit of introspection, as long as you're working on something that you care about, I mean, honestly, you will get there. I promise you. Even if it takes a long time, it may take months, years, or however long it'll take you, but just keep plugging away at it. So, yeah, the message today, you know, just with all the darkness surrounding us right now, the uncertainty of the world we live in, just do something each day, challenge yourself, and do something you enjoy, even for a little bit. If it's that side project, the side hustle, or whatever it is, because unfortunately, that's how it is today. I mean, having a single income, from an entry level job, especially, like, I'm a college dropout, so I'm self-teaching myself a lot of things right now. That's been my newest venture. I'm taking that all the way. I'm doing coding and, just hopefully trying to break into software development. Video games are one of my number one passions in life. I love talking about gaming and, being in that sphere. So I would love to, work in the industry, working for Nintendo or PlayStation. That would be a dream come true. But, that's going to take a lot of steps. And even if I don't work for those companies, there's tons of other options. So I know it's cliche, but that one saying, it's like, if you reach for the stars and, what is it? Like, reach for the stars and land among the moon or something like that. Like, just take your stab. So that's kind of the message I want to give you guys. So take care. That's your food for the thought. Yeah. That's your food for thought today. So take care of yourselves, guys. Have a good one.